When is divorce okay for Christians? No more Mr. Nice Guy. Why your partner disrespects you and how you have the power to influence a different lifestyle, a different adventure for your marriage. Will this work for me? Stop sending miles of text messages. Your wife withholding sex from you. Truth, integrity, moving fast, and sound decisions. When is divorce okay for Christians? Welcome to the Morrow Marriage Podcast, guys, where yes, we are Christian, and no, it doesn't fucking matter if you're Christian or not. We get asked this question all the time. Kathryn's got a reel out right now that's gone mega fucking viral, mega viral. And it's funny, like, why do we have to attach Christians to marriage? Now, we're going to talk about that, so don't get all stressed out that we're going to bail from the subject. But listen, marriage is marriage. Okay? Now, why do I say that? Because if you don't know this part of my story, I saw one clip of Jordan Peterson when I wanted to say, fuck it all. And I saw him talk about the integrity of vows and how men don't have integrity anymore and what that means. And I went a little deeper into that and at the time, and I remember that, you know, in the old days, men would stick to the marriage strictly because they would be shunned in the community. It was frowned upon to have a divorce. And now today in our fucking world, men and women quit. And I know that women initiate 70% of divorces, but men, you're allowing that to happen. Okay? And especially if you're listening to this podcast, like you men and women are not honoring your vows. So forget the Christian side for a second, okay? I want you to just realize something. Nobody got married back when we got married, okay? Nobody got married, and I'm saying we, like us and you, okay? Our generation got married thinking it was for life. It's now happening to the younger generation that are like saying maybe it's gonna be a 10-year thing. I mean, when I heard that, my mind was fucking blown that that's what we've done to our youth, man. Like, your children will think even less, maybe not even want to get married.
Which is crazy because our generation, yes, we went into it thinking it was forever, but our generation is the one that's making it not forever, which is then making the younger generation believe that it doesn't ever have to be forever when you say your vows. Isn't that crazy to you?
Yeah, it's fucking wild. If you guys actually stop and wrap your head around why we grow so fast, why our business is booming with you guys coming into the program, it's because we think totally differently, okay? You have to understand, in order to create the new marriage, you need to start thinking the way that we think. And it might not all be what we say, which is fucking nuts, because if you want what we have, you should do what we do. But like, at the same time, you're different than us. We're different than you. That's why we speak with many different perspectives, many different perceptions when we have coaches working in our programs for you guys, not just us talking. Because reality comes from multiple perceptions. Our reality is skewed based off where we've come from. And you forgot that your reality included being married for fucking life. Like, nobody gets married and says, yeah, and then when we do this kid thing too, let's fuck them right up. But that's what we're doing. If our mission...
How silly does that sound, guys? We don't go into it saying, let's get married and have kids and then divorce and fuck everything up. Nobody goes into it saying that, except for the new generation. That's what they're going in saying because that's what they're experiencing. The children that are the offspring of our generation, that's what they believe marriage is. That is what we as a generation have created. We went into it healthy. We're going out of it completely upside down.
Justifying why we're quitting. See, the funniest thing, when I break this down in a lesson in my program, I talk about how, you know, when we think about integrity of vows, we say for better or for worse, for example. Pretty much all of us said that, right? In sickness and in health. It didn't say, yeah, but I'm not going to fulfill my responsibilities if you don't fuck me. Okay? No, the moment we feel disconnected and I don't feel loved, then I'm going to quit. We didn't say that.
No.
But see, now vows have become something that don't mean anything. It's just a picture perfect part of the ceremony. It's fucking horse shit. Now, let's go to the Christians for a second. If you actually are Christian, then when is it okay? Well, there are times in the Bible where they accept where it's possible. I'm not going to get into that today. Go talk to your pastor. Why? Because I'm going to breathe life into you today. Listen, if you're Christian, then you know marriage was created by God for us. Adam and Eve were the first example. And I'm talking about the unity, okay? And how she was built from the rib, okay? That means that they're not supposed to ever separate, ever. They are one, okay? Coincidentally, we talked about that a lot lately. But if you are one, then when is it okay? Well, first of all, did you figure out your shit, or are you still blaming your wife for eating a fucking apple and trusting a snake? Like, honestly, man. Or are you gonna blame your husband for not leading you and the snake just made his wisdom made more sense? Like, fuck. You guys, when is it okay? Well, when did you start the work? The actual work? Because chances are you're just telling yourself you're trying. How many times we hear all the things people do and your list is short. You actually have a big long list of all the things that they do wrong. The things that you have changed is fuck all. It's minuscule. You can't even fill up one piece of paper for what you've actually tried to do to grow, to change, to take responsibility, to be someone different, knowing who you are. Because we know that we're one, but we are two very strong, independent people that come together and we don't let anything break that connection anymore. Okay? And so when is it okay for Christians or not Christian? Fucking never, man, never. You will have somebody. Let's just say I'm gonna go to the extreme abuse, okay? And you're like, no, maybe Cass is wrong here. It's just not safe. They gotta leave. Okay, then why are you listening to us? Why? Because I was about as abusive as they come. On a whole. Now I know there's various levels and various degrees, but here's the funny thing. Some of you guys just get called a cunt or an asshole and you're like the most abused person on the fucking planet. Like, it's fucking disgusting to hear some of you talk. And I know, because I was that fucking repulsive. Okay? And that's why I want so much more for you. How can you be so hypocritical? This happens in my program all the time. Yeah, but my wife is blah, blah, blah,
Backtrack
blah.
just for a second though. So when he talks about abuse, guys, and I've said this on so many podcasts, if you are in that situation where you are experiencing something that's not safe, yes, you need to get yourself and your children to safety. We are not advocating for you to stay in a marriage that is where you are not safe. Okay?
That doesn't mean you're getting divorced though.
We don't know.
That means it's grow time, baby. Let's go.
We would hope. We would hope.
Because go back to his rock bottom now, if he's the one smacking her around. Okay? Like, listen, it doesn't mean it's divorce. Don't make that decision. Make the growth decision. Make the decision to finally do something different. Because at the end of the day, what you do now is not enough. I know, because like the amount of men in my program that will talk about their wife and all the things she's doing wrong and how violated they feel or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, you are a motherfucking hypocrite. And he'll be like, what do you mean? I'll say, well, dude, you watch my content, you join my program, you ask me for advice. The things you're describing are all things that I changed. Like, aren't you telling me that you trust me, but you can't lead her? With the guy who fucking did it? You know, or Kathryn who's been through it. Excuse me. So if that's the case, then I got your number. That you are just a quitter. You don't follow through. And that's why the vows don't matter to you. That's why you make them this pretty part of a ceremony just for some fucking photos. Man, no. Why do you think? So we eloped. Why do you think you see that picture in our content with that really hot wedding picture we have? Right? Where she's got you see the back of her tattoos with the dress open and I'm kissing her, nuzzled into her neck, her legs curled up. That's because we wanted to redo the marriage, okay? And we wanted to do better than elope. We wanted to have people around us. Why? Because it wasn't just for pictures. It was because it meant something so much more. And I lost my way with that. Thank God I saw that reel from, I don't even know if he called it a reel back then, from Jordan Peterson. But I did. I saw that video and it changed my life. And I want you guys to think about the same way. It's never okay to quit. You might have to. You might have a partner that won't follow your lead. I get all that. But why are you in such a fucking rush, man? If this is the person that you love. At the event, the speaking event, I looked right at one man and I was like, and I've worked with him before, and his wife is, you know, we got her to the event and things are going a lot better ever since the event, and it's wonderful to hear. But you know what? I looked at him right in the middle of the event. I just walked right up and said, what if it takes 4 fucking years? I put my fingers right in his face. It's not gonna take 4 years, but what if it does? Don't you like the rest of your life? Don't you Christians like eternity? What the fuck is a blip in time for the one that you say you love? Mm-hmm. Or do you just love yourself more? Because you would never ask this question to us. When is it okay? You would always, if you have our mindset, you'd always say, well, how can I do better? How can I get them to think they'd be crazy to live without me? How can I love myself so that I have nothing but love to give? Then I can be patient. Don't care how many times they bring up the past. Just fucking show them the future. It's really that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye.